Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be talking about interviewing for medical school and hopefully give you some tips that you can use to help you prepare for the interviews and so you know what you're getting yourself into on interview day. Alright, so first I wanted to talk about the goal of the interview. Now there are a couple of different goals for the interview and it also depends on which school you're at. They may be looking for different things, but you should really treat the interview as a way to highlight your personality and connect with the interviewer. Don't feel like you have to go in with a bunch of scripted answers and you have to hit all the right points that you think they want to hear. Just go in and have a conversation with the person in front of you, and honestly, you are more likely to have a more successful interview through that than feeling like you know a robot and scripting answers and all of that. We'll go into how to prepare for your answers in a little bit, but I just want to let you know that, for example, some of my best interviews, we really talked, me and the interviewers, nothing about medicine for a majority of the time and just connected on different things, topics and interests that we share, or maybe I was even asking the interviewer about their research and we went down that path. Whatever it is, you really just want to make it conversational, but if you are asked questions, of course, always answer those questions directly. So that brings me into how should you actually prepare for the interview. So what I would do is practice talking out the answers, and you have to verbalize these out loud. You don't want to go into the first interview never having said, for example, the answer to why do you want to go into medicine. That should be a story that you kind of have crafted. Again, you don't want it to sound scripted and be saying it verbatim, but know the bullet points that you want to hit. You probably already talked about this in your personal statement as well, and then just go in and give that answer. Keep them relatively short, 1 to 2 minutes for these answers. You don't want to be dragging on for 10 minutes and lose the attention of the interview. You want it to be like a back and forth, more conversational. But some of the most common interview questions you should practice answering. So that would be, tell me about yourself, why do you want to come to our medical school, what's a challenge that you faced and how you overcome it, why do you want to go into medicine, and more specifically, why do you want to be a doctor? Because there's many healthcare professions, and saying I want to help people doesn't necessarily factor into just being a doctor, because all the different professions in healthcare, you're helping people, and even lots of professions outside of healthcare. So know those answers. You can start to try practicing other questions as well. You could find online a bunch of different questions, and on my website I'm actually going to be posting a bunch of the most common interview questions. But again, I really recommend practice with a friend, practice with a family member, or even just record yourself. So have a question in mind, record yourself so that you at least feel like you're speaking to someone or something, and that way you're not just alone in your room just talking to yourself, but you could do that too. So I do like to get it on video though, so that I can watch it back and see what I liked and what I didn't like. So that's it pretty much for preparing. It's not as big a deal as a lot of students think. Just don't go in never having put any thought into your answers, and also don't write out your full answers. Just write out bullet points when you're preparing your answers, and then again practice it. You want it to sound naturally flowing. So on interview day, you want to be professionally dressed. You also should remember that the second you step onto that campus, the interview day has begun, and you're going to be judged as a person, and your character is going to be assessed, whether that's you're talking to the receptionist, the janitor, the actual interviewer, other peers. You want to be making sure that you're really showing your best self, because there are stories of students who may have had a great interview, but it came back to the dean that they were not very nice to one of the staff members or something like that, and that really came back to hurt them. So you should remember, the second you step on campus to the second you leave, it is the interview. It's not just that 30 to 1 hour talk. So that's it for the traditional interview. Also, one thing is some interviews are going to be closed book interviews, where the person has not seen your actual application. So then in that case, they might say, can you summarize your app for me, or what are some of the points and experiences that you have that you'd like to highlight? So know your app inside and out. And other times they may have read your app and they're going to ask you specific questions based on it. So again, you want to make sure you know everything you put down in there. If you talked about research topics on your application or studies you've done, you better be able to explain that research. So yeah, read your app before, practice these questions, and just go in, be yourself, have a conversation, and that is pretty much the interview in a nutshell. Hope that was helpful, guys. If it was, please drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to grow this channel. The more subscribers we get and comments you leave, the more videos I'm going to be making. So also, if there's a certain question that you have and you would like that answered in a video, put it down below and I will be sure to get to it. All right guys, I'll see you in the next one.